Ooh, touchy subject time. Nah, man, but the video we checking out, bro, is when dieting. Some people are afraid of that word. Some people take that word too seriously. It's crazy, that word dieting, how it can affect people either way. But this video is when dieting goes wrong. When dieting goes wrong. Like, a lot of people don't realize, like, you can really OD on this stuff, man, where you could really, really take it too far. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Everybody, to a certain extent, wants to be healthy. I want to find the balance. For me, it's finding the balance. Because I want to be healthy, but I still want to enjoy food. I still want to enjoy what I eat. I love to, like, eating is good. I love to eat, fam. I don't want to feel like I'm just dreading eating. I don't want to feel like the food I'm eating has no flavor. Like, no. I want to find that happy balance in between. You get what I'm saying? To where I love doing it. Now, if that means me eating smaller portions, it's going to be tough, but I work towards that then. But the whole, man, sometimes you just feel like you're eating a bunch of rice cakes all day or something like that. A bunch of flavorless food. No, I'm not here for that either. You know what I'm saying? So for me, in order for it to work for me, you know what I'm saying, I have to find balance. Balance, you know? So I like it when people say, like, everything in moderation. I could probably get with that, because then you're not cutting me away from everything. Some of these diet plans, man, is just so strict and strenuous that you can't wait till it's over, and then you gain all the weight back because you OD on flavor. You wanting food that is flavorful. So I gotta find that balance. But we're gonna see how the channel They Will Kill Us, what is it again? They will kill you. Right. We're gonna see what type of spin they put on it when we check this video out. So if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, join the fam, and real quick, moment of silence for the haters. That's enough. Now run the likes up. Make sure y'all hit that like button.
Number 10, Charlotte Broad. In 2019, a British mother of 2 died from malnutrition after living most of her life on a diet that consisted exclusively of snack foods. 32-year-old Charlotte Broad wouldn't eat anything aside from cheese and onion crisps, poppadoms, and prawn crackers. Even as a child, she didn't consume any vegetables with her meals, living solely on soda, chicken nuggets, and chips. In early January of 2019,
sound like some of our kids, right? Sound like some of your kids. I know my oldest son used to be real picky, bro. He was so picky to the fact that we used to have to tell him everything was chicken. For real, I kid you not. Back when, we don't eat them no more, but back when we used to eat pork chops, we were like, oh, we eating pork chops tonight. He wouldn't eat it. Oh, so we had to tell him it's chicken. Then he'd eat it, or at least try it. You know what I'm saying? Everything had to be chicken. Like, you know what I mean? And we started out as one of those families, but we ended up having to break them out of it, of always eating McDonald's Happy Meals, because it's easy and convenient. Oh, let's just take them to McDonald's. And when they got about 2-3 years old, I was like, all right, that's enough, bro. They getting too addicted to this. All they want is chicken nuggets and a McDonald's Happy Meal. No, we got to stop that. So we ended up nipping that in the bud early, which I'm glad we did that. But yeah, man, a lot of people can relate to this story.
Solely on soda, chicken nuggets, and chips. In early January of 2019, Broad's partner convinced her to get help, and she was taken to the Royal Hampshire County Hospital in Winchester. By that point, she would start vomiting so hard that her throat turned black whenever she ate or drank anything. While in the hospital, she repeatedly refused food, even in an intravenous form. When asked if she knew what was going to happen without adequate nutrition, she told her doctors that she was probably going to die. Less than a week before her death, Broad no longer allowed doctors to examine her and take blood. Then, on January the 18th, she passed away from multiple organ failure as a result of prolonged malnutrition. With respect to Broad's mental health, a coroner determined that she wasn't suicidal, but that she developed ambivalence towards life. Number 9, Jessica Lindsay. In 2017, a teenager from Perth, Australia, died in the aftermath of a strict diet that drastically lowered her water intake 18-year-old Jessica Lindsay was a rising Muay Thai kickboxer who was training for an upcoming amateur bout. She was trying to make the 140-pound limit and resorted to a practice done by many combat athletes called water weight cutting. It requires a period of dehydration, and many health experts advised against it due to the strain it puts on the body. Lindsay's training involved running in a sweatsuit, sitting in a sauna, and sparring, all of which she reportedly performed while drinking little to no water. On November the 10th, she collapsed while running outside her gym, accompanied by her boyfriend and her sister. They raised the alarm and Lindsay was rushed to the emergency room. Upon her arrival, doctors found she had a heart rate of 180. She was placed in a medically induced coma and died 4 days later. The prolonged absence of water had caused her organs to shut down.
See, now I'm looking for that big old jug I had the other day that Queen filled up, bro. I'm getting on my water, man. I'm not a fighter or nothing like that tries to limit my water intake to make weight or nothing like that. But you do hear that type of stuff all the time with fighters trying to make weight. Them, you know what I mean, going through a dehydration stage and stuff like that just to try to make weight. But man, I can imagine what the headaches and different things are like, bro. When your body is dehydrated, fam. No, I can only imagine. And that's just a fraction of what a lot of these athletes and fighters do to try to make weight for different sporting events and stuff like that, man. It gets wild.
One by one. Number 8. Vaidotas Gerbetavicius. In March of 2018, a young man died in an East London hospital after taking a banned diet pill. 21-year-old Vaidotas Gerbetavicius had purchased dinotrophenol, or DNP, on the dark web. The compound is classified as an explosive under UN regulations, and in World War I, it was used in the manufacturing of ammunition. Scientists subsequently learned...
Whoa, what? This darn fly. Like, they had my door open for like a long time training the dogs today, and they let this huge, meaty, fat, I'm gonna get you, bro, fly up in here, man. I don't even know how he flying, he's so big. Like, I know he gotta take breaks. But anyway, back to this. What?
Had purchased dinotrophenol, or DNP, on the dark web. The compound is classified as...
First, why are you buying stuff on the dark web?
...an explosive under UN regulations, and in World War I, it was used in the manufacturing of ammunition. Scientists subsequently learned that it boosted metabolism and burned fat if ingested. In the 1930s, it was marketed as a diet pill in the US. It was banned in recent years following several fatalities. DNP is close to cyanide in terms of toxicity, and it can cause nausea, abdominal pain, high fever, seizures, and multiple organ damage. There's no antidote or treatment for it. After taking the pill, Gerbetavicius called his father, telling him that he couldn't be helped and that he'd be dead within the hour. He was taken to a hospital with a temperature so high that nurses used up all of the ice packs trying to cool him down. Gerbetavicius complained of pain all over his body before he passed away from cardiac arrest within 4 hours of arriving at the hospital. Number 7. Lindsay Bone. On April the 5th of 2019, Lindsay Bone's roommates found her unresponsive in her bed, and doctors would later confirm that she'd passed away the night before. 20-year-old Bone was on antidepressants and anxiety medication that helped her cope with the loss of her father a year prior. According to her fiancé, she was also on a crash diet, determined to lose weight for an upcoming holiday. She took dietary pills made from crushed, distilled, and fermented apples. Bone's mother claimed that for years, she would take a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar with her meals. She also added that her daughter had eaten very little on the day of her death. The rules Bones had given herself in her food diary emphasized taking the vinegar. It was initially suspected that she'd had a bad reaction to her anti-anxiety medication, but a coroner revealed that she hadn't abused the pills. While doctors couldn't find a definitive cause of Bone's death, the level of acid in her blood was a lot higher than normal. This was linked to the vinegar, which is acidic, and it's possible she'd taken too much of the dietary supplement.
That's why a lot of people be like, when you take that apple, because I know people who when I used to work in like collections, we would be all on the call center floor, and you hear them in the morning, get ready, finna take this apple cider vinegar shot. Who with me? And they would actually take them take it like, for me, that I would call it raw. They would take it straight raw without even cutting it with no water, bro. Like, I tried that once and it burns, fam. Like, nah.
Number 6, tapeworm diet. In 2014, ER nurse Marisol Cabral Osorio detailed a case that she encountered at the Florida hospital where she worked. A teenager accompanied by her mother walked in with a bulging stomach and complaining of abdominal pain. Cabral Osorio initially believed that she was pregnant, but an ultrasound ruled it out. Moments later, the nurse found the teenager screaming over a toilet filled with tapeworms. Some of them were reportedly long and trying to climb out. It was later revealed that her mother had given her pills which had tapeworm eggs inside of them. They were meant to aid the teenager in slimming down for an upcoming pageant. The mother apologized to her daughter, who, according to Cabral Osorio,
That's sick, bro. Her mom should be tried and in prison for the rest of her life, fam. Are you...
Osorio was said to recover since she'd passed the parasites. Tapeworm diets date back at least to Victorian England. After the egg is intentionally ingested, the parasite hatches and attaches itself to the intestine. In theory, one can eat whatever they want, as some of the caloric intake goes towards feeding the parasite, which can grow to be 30 feet long and live inside the host for decades. The diet is extremely dangerous as one can't control where the parasite attaches itself, which can result in potentially fatal blockages or brain complications, in addition to nausea, diarrhea, weakness, and abdominal pain. Number 5. Mishti Mukherjee. In 2020, a 27-year-old Indian actress died due to complications stemming from her ketogenic diet. Mishti Mukherjee succumbed to kidney failure.
A lot of people in that keto diet, remember?
And her family released a statement in which they blamed the strict diet for her demise. Keto emphasizes the consumption of fat and protein while reducing carbohydrates. It's designed to put the body into ketosis, a state in which it burns fat for fuel. Medical professionals have warned that while generally effective for obese people, the diet can be dangerous for thinner people who follow it for extended periods of time. That's due to the buildup of ketones, the acids that are a byproduct of fat burning, which can cause the blood to become more acidic and damage the kidneys, liver, and brain. It can lead to the formation of kidney stones and, in more extreme cases like Mukherjee's, kidney failure. Doctors generally recommend drinking plenty of water to mitigate the adverse effects, as well as not following the diet for more than 45 days in a single stretch. Number 4. Meghna Devgadkar. In 2020, an Indian woman died just hours after taking DNP at the gym where she'd recently started work as a trainer. 22-year-old Meghna Devgadkar had taken the banned weight loss pill prior to a workout, but it's unclear if the physical effort had amplified its adverse effects. She started vomiting soon after taking it. Devgadkar's temperature increased dramatically, as did her blood pressure and heartbeat. She was transferred to several hospitals but ultimately passed away from cardiac arrest. The police started interviewing Devgadkar's colleagues at the gym and launched an investigation to determine how she'd obtained the pill. Number 3.
Dang! Bro, it's not that serious, y'all. Like, I hope this video helps somebody that's been thinking about doing something dangerous to their body, fam. Like, it's not that serious, bro. I get it. You know what I mean? They make it look so appealing to have a certain type of body type, bro. But just get yourself healthy. That's all. You ain't got to have this, you know what I mean? Just, it'll never be perfect. It's not. Just get yourself healthy, man. Stop going to these extremes and take your time with it. Everybody wants everything to happen overnight. It's not.
Jacqueline Henson. In November of 2008, British woman Jacqueline Henson died after following a diet that emphasized water consumption. The 40-year-old was reportedly told by her slimming consultant that the more water she drank, the more weight she'd lose. While the diet did involve drinking up to 4 liters of water per day, the quantity had to be spread out. Henson didn't have time during her workday and would drink the water in the evening over a couple of hours while she watched TV. The diet worked at first, and Henson was encouraged to remain on track by her partner and 5 children. On November the 14th, she got home from a meeting of her weight loss group. After drinking the water, she threw up and complained of a headache. Her daughter later found her unconscious in the bathroom. Henson subsequently passed away in a hospital from a swelling of the brain after she'd saturated her body with too much water. Today's topic.
Dang, I didn't know that. I didn't know you could have too much of water. I didn't know that. That's good to know. So I won't try to down that whole jug in one setting. It's good to know.
It was requested by Chibi, Creepypasta, Super April 34, and Eckhard Krieger. If you have any other topics, it's number 2. Brethereneriaism. The practice of brethereneriaism, deemed by conventional researchers as a deadly pseudoscience, entails an entirely spiritual existence without the intake of fluids or food. It relies on sunlight and meditation with sustenance purportedly provided by prana, the vital life force in Hinduism. Australian woman Ellen Grev, better known as Jasmuheen, is one of its most prominent proponents. She once claimed that she expanded her DNA from 2 to 16 strands through the practice. Jasmuheen was offered considerable sums of money for a blood test that would prove her extraordinary claims, but she wouldn't provide it, stating that spiritual energy can't be viewed under a microscope. She tried to prove the benefits of her lifestyle on an episode of 60 Minutes, but was urged to stop as her health had begun to deteriorate. She challenged the results of the program and continued her teachings. While she is denied responsibility, at least 5 deaths have been linked to Brethereneriaism and Jasmuheen's publications. In 1991, Scottish woman Verity Lynn died of hypothermia and dehydration while trying to live according to Jasmuheen's teachings. Lynn's lifeless body was found in a tent. In 2012, a Swiss woman died of starvation while attempting to survive solely on light. 22-year-old German man Finn Bogomil passed away in 2017 on the Caribbean island of Dominica in similar fashion. Number 1. Louise and Elena Ramos. On August 2nd of 2006, Uruguayan model Louise Ramos.
You know we couldn't. You know we had to hear from a model. That's what everybody starts thinking of the first time they hear somebody talk about dieting. Because we all know how a lot of those models, man. That's why I was so happy back in the day when they started, you know what I mean, introducing like the plus size models and it didn't all just have to be these real skinny girls, man. You know what I mean? Because girls were really killing themselves trying to be that figure, that size, and be this type of person. Nah, man, bump all that.
Died while taking part in a Fashion Week show in Montevideo. According to her father, 22-year-old Ramos hadn't eaten anything for several days leading up to her death. She weighed less than 100 pounds on a 5'9" frame. For months, she'd followed a diet that involved little else except for lettuce and Diet Coke. Ramos suffered a heart attack shortly after stepping off the runway. Less than a year later, her 18-year-old sister, who was also a professional model.
Oh, bro, look how skinny that is. Oh, that is, oh. Fam. That's like, bruh. Fellas, imagine laying next to that. That's like laying next to a skeleton, bro. A skeleton. Look at that. Look at that. No.
Passed away under similar conditions. Eliana Ramos's lifeless body was found at her grandparents' home in Montevideo. The cause of death was determined to have been a heart attack stemming from malnutrition. The double tragedy drew widespread media attention in Latin America, with many criticizing the pressure on underweight models. In the aftermath, fashion shows in Madrid, Milan, and Israel banned size 0 models from their catwalks. Thanks for watching. Would you
See, I was never interested into the really like skin and bone type. Nah, give me something to hold on to. Give your boy something to hold on to. You know what I'm saying? Nah, don't bother that, man. But you know, all jokes aside, though, man, it's scary. It was a time to where where literally girls were killing themselves trying to making themselves throw up and all that just to try to be something that. So I was so happy when certain people bust through that were different size than the norm. I was happy for them, man. It was a monumental moment. So, but yeah, man, don't overdo it. You know what I'm saying? Don't overdo it. Just take your time and one day at a time. All right? Don't be scared of that word, man. Dieting. Don't be scared of it. And do it your way and don't try to overdo it. All right? It's your boy L, man. Y'all get at me in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. And stick around and stay tuned until the next reaction. I'm gone. Peace.